We'll begin our class either in a seated or reclined position, whichever you feel most comfortable in. Taking a moment to decide and then settling into whichever shape you choose. Maybe closing your eyes, allowing the muscles of the face to start to soften and the jaw to relax open. Allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth and letting the shoulders settle down away from the ear. And taking a moment to scan through the body. Noticing each place where the body makes contact with the ground or with some kind of prop. And allow yourself to settle into those supports. Getting a little bit heavier at each point of contact. Finding a sense of grounding and stability. And once you feel settled in your shape, take some time to focus on the breath. First, just becoming a little bit more aware of your breathing. Noticing how your body feels as you inhale and exhale. Noticing what parts of the body move as you breathe in and out. If you do notice that your breathing is a bit shallow or a bit fast, try drawing the next inhale a little bit more deeply into the body. Allowing the inhale to fill you up, starting at the top and working your way all the way down the length of the spine. Allowing the lungs to expand and the belly to rise. And then slowly exhaling, allowing that air to travel back up and out in the opposite direction. Letting the belly soften, the lungs empty. Consciously drawing each breath in and releasing each breath out. Finding a rhythm of breath that's comfortable for you. Allowing the inhales and exhales to be a little bit deeper than normal, but not so deep that it feels forced. Once you've struck that balance, continuing to focus on the breath, we'll start to invite some movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. And perhaps circling wrists and ankles or turning the head from side to side. Slowly blinking the eyes back open, allowing light back in. And we'll bring the body back to stillness. If you are laying down, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side of the body. Resting there for a moment and then coming up to whatever seated position you prefer. You can choose to sit on a prop or on a piece of furniture, or you can sit cross-legged on the ground or have your legs extended. Wherever you are, so you can ground equally through both sides of the body. So you can sit up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of the head. At the same time as you anchor down through the sitting bones. Let's drop the chin down towards the chest and we'll slowly roll the chin over towards one shoulder. Go back down through center and over to the other side. Taking your time and again, noticing how the movement feels for you. Noticing if you've lost that control of the breath. If you have, refocusing, bringing your awareness back to that inhale and exhale. And bringing the head back to stillness at center, we'll start to roll through the shoulders, lifting shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing shoulder blades together and drawing them down the back. Using your inhale to lift up and exhale to squeeze and lower. Feeling the muscles come together on the back, feeling an expansion across the chest. And then we'll switch directions, still lifting up on the inhale, but as we exhale, let's roll the shoulders forward and spread the shoulder blades nice and wide, creating some space across the back. Let's bring the shoulders back to stillness. We'll make our way up into a tabletop shape, coming up onto our hands and our knees. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. We'll have the knees about hip distance apart, hands around shoulder width apart. Spread those fingers nice and wide and press the fingertips down into the ground. Either press the tops of the toes down into the mat or tuck the toes under and press back. We'll find a neutral spine by pressing the floor away, drawing the lower belly in and gazing straight down towards the ground. From here, we'll move through cat and cow. As we inhale, lowering the belly, drawing the shoulders back, looking forward. And then on the exhale, rounding the spine, spreading the shoulders, looking back to the knees. Inhaling, bringing the spine into extension, drawing shoulders back, looking forward. And exhaling, moving into flexion, rounding the spine, dropping the head, pressing the floor away. Taking your time, moving at your own pace, using your inhale to lengthen the front of the body, and exhale to lengthen the back of the body. Whenever you're ready, coming back to stillness at center, finding that tabletop, pressing the floor away, gazing straight down. We'll take the right hand in towards the center of the mat, directly below the face, and we'll step the right foot just outside of that right hand. The toes can either point straight forwards or slightly out to the side. Knee stacks over the ankle. And Find a little bit of a stretch here along the back of the right hamstring or front of the left hip. So if you're feeling it where you are, you can stay right there. If you're not feeling it yet, keeping the right knee stacking over right ankle and pressing gently into the outer right shoulder, we'll start to slide the left knee back behind us a little bit at a time, just until we find that place where there's a little bit of a stretch. Again, here you can have the toes tucked under on the left side, or you can lay those left toes flat on the floor. We'll soften the hips forward and down, continuing to gaze straight down at the floor and pressing that floor away, drawing lower belly in. Finding some engagement through the abdomen as we soften through the hips. Breathing slow and steady. And then if you did slide your left knee back, we'll bring it back forward under the hip. We'll step the right foot back to meet the left, and we'll switch the hands. Right hand comes to the outer right edge of the mat, left hand in towards the center, and then we'll step the left foot just outside of that left hand. Toes can point straight towards the front or out on an angle. Left knee stacks over left ankle. Press that left knee into the outside of the left shoulder. And take a moment to notice how you feel here. One side might be a bit different from the other, so really checking in. We're looking here for a little bit of a stretch along the back of the left hamstring or front of the right hip. If you're already feeling it where you are, staying there. If you don't feel it just yet, keep pressing that left knee into the left shoulder, and then gently, a little bit at a time, slide the right knee back behind you. Right toes can tuck under or be flat on the floor. And then once again, once you've found that place, start to soften the hips forward and down. Press the floor away, draw the low belly in, and gaze down towards the ground. Taking a few slow, steady breaths in and out. And then we'll start to slide the right knee forward. If you moved it back, we'll step the left knee back to meet the right. And we'll bring the hands out, one on either side of the mat, around shoulder distance apart. From here, we'll tuck the toes back behind us as we step back into plank, allowing the body to one long straight line, pressing the floor away, gazing down. We'll take an inhale here, and as we exhale, let's lift the hips up and back, drawing the heels down towards the ground, maybe taking a tiny step in, finding a comfortable distance between hands and feet. You can have a little bit of a bend in your knees to start off with. Press the floor away with the hands so the hips draw up and back. If you'd like, you can bend through knees and ankles, walking the feet one at a time. And keep that breath flowing smooth and steady. And then from here, we'll start to walk those feet all the way up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Taking your time, coming up onto your fingertips, allowing the feet to be together or a distance apart. Again, keeping a bend in the knees if it's more comfortable for you. We'll let the belly rest on the thighs and allow the head to hang heavy. You can nod the head yes or shake the head no, releasing a little bit of tension from the neck. And play with the placement of your weight here. Shift your weight back into your heels, forward into the balls of your feet, side to side. Be mindful of your balance. Be gentle with yourself. Noticing which position feels best for you, which one feels the most stable, which one feels maybe like the best stretch. And once you found that place, taking a moment to rest there, you can either leave your hands on the floor, you can take hold of opposite elbows, or wrap your hands around the backs of your legs. Breathing slowly in and out. On an inhale, we'll release, placing hands on shins, straightening up the legs and straightening out the spine, coming into half back, easing down towards the ground. As we exhale, we'll fold the knees, fold forward once again. Inhaling, we'll bend the knees even deeper, sweep the hands up to the sides or straight in front. We'll come all the way up to standing, drawing the hands together overhead. And then exhale, draw those hands down to heart center. From here, as we inhale, let's lift the hands up overhead, joining the palms. As we exhale, we'll bend the knees and fold forward. We'll inhale for half back, straightening the legs, straightening Exhaling, we'll bend the knees, fold forward, place the hands on the floor and step back into plank. From here, we'll lower the knees down onto the ground and then the chest and chin coming into 8-point pose. As we inhale, we'll slide the legs back, come onto the tops of the toes, draw the chest and head up as we draw the shoulders and elbows back, coming to baby cobra. In our baby cobra, using the strength of the core to lift the body, hands are there just for support. You should be able to lift your hands up and stay in the same position. We'll take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll tuck the toes, press back on the knees, press into the hands and lift up and back, stepping forward, exhaling into downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees, looking ahead. As we exhale, we'll step up to the top of the mat, coming into forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up, reach the hands up overhead. And exhale, draw hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back to plank. And then lower down, knees, chest, chin. Let's inhale, baby cobra. And exhale all the way back and up, downward facing dog. Inhaling, bending the knees, looking ahead. Exhaling, stepping with the opposite foot to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up, reach hands up overhead. And exhale those hands down to heart center. Once again, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back to plank, lower down, 8-point pose. Inhale for cobra. And exhale all the way up and back, downward facing dog. From here, as we inhale, let's lift the right foot up behind us. Taking a moment to bend that right knee, maybe open the right hip out to the side, keeping equal weight between both hands and the remaining foot on the floor. And then we'll bring those hips back to center and exhale, step the right foot through. We'll stack the right knee over the right ankle, get a little bit lighter on the fingertips, press back through the left heel. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. Hands can meet at heart center, or you can extend them up overhead, maybe even joining the hands up overhead. Let's inhale here, lengthen the body, press back through the left heel. And then exhale, drop the hands down to the ground, step forward into a forward fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach hands up overhead. Exhale down to heart center. Let's do the other side, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back. Lower all the way down. Inhaling for cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale the left foot up behind us. Again here, let's take a moment, bend the knee, lift the left hip open to the side. Nice little stretch, pressing equally into both hands. And bring the hips back to center and exhale, step that left foot through. Stacking the knee over the ankle, pressing back through the right heel, getting lighter on the fingertips. Taking your time, gathering in the energy. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. Palms can meet at heart center. You can extend them up overhead. You can even draw the hands together up overhead if you'd like. We'll inhale, reach up, press back. And exhale, drop the hands down, step forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach hands up overhead. And exhale down to heart center. Let's pause for a moment in our mountain pose. Allowing the feet to be about hip distance apart. Dropping the hands at the sides. Drawing the shoulders together and back. As we ground down through the feet, let's allow the inner arches of the feet to lift up. So the balls of the feet and the heels are pressing down firmly, but there's a little bit of lift in the center. Feel the knee become a bit more active. Draw the shoulders together and down, and then we'll spread the fingers with a little bit of energy. Palms can face in towards the body or out towards the front of the room. As we inhale, we'll lengthen up, lifting up through the crown of the head, and as we exhale, we'll press down through those contact points of the feet. Finding a sense of stability, a sense of connection with the ground, and a sense of lift. From here, as we inhale, we'll take both hands up overhead. Let's exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands. We'll step back, plank pose, lower down, knees, chest chin. Inhale for cobra. And let's pause here as we exhale. Let's come up onto our elbows. We'll plant the elbows under the shoulders, fingers spread out in front of us, coming into Sphinx pose. If it's uncomfortable to have your elbows under your shoulders, you can slide them a bit further forward if that's more comfortable for you. From here, we'll find some engagement by pressing down to the tops of the feet. Maybe feel the kneecaps lift up off the ground. We'll draw the shoulders back and down, pressing the chest forward. And we'll gaze just in front of our fingertips. As we inhale, we'll lengthen forward with the chest, lift up through the low belly, press down into the ground. As we exhale, we'll soften, let the shoulders relax down. Find a comfortable space for the hands. Inhaling, feeling the glutes active as you press down into the tops of your feet. Exhaling, settling down into the hips. Inhaling again, lifting the chest forward, drawing low belly in. Exhaling, softening down. And one more time, inhale, really press into the feet. And exhale, release. We'll slide the elbows out to the sides, coming down onto the chest. You can even rest your forehead down on the backs of your hands if you'd like. We'll pause for a moment, bending the knees, shifting the feet from side to side. And then we'll bring those feet back to stillness. Bring the hands one on either side of the chest. Take a nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll make our way up and back into downward facing dog. From here, as we inhale, let's lift the right foot out behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that right foot through. Let's inhale all the way up, high lunge. Exhale, drop the hands down, step forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. And again, here we'll pause. This time, instead of our Sphinx, we'll come into a locust pose. So we'll extend our arms back behind us, palms facing down or in towards the midline of the body. We'll start again by pressing the tops of the toes down into the ground, just as we did in our Sphinx pose. And on an inhale, keeping the gaze down, we'll lift the chest, lift the shoulders, draw the fingertips back. So again, here we're using the strength of the core to lift the body. Continuing to anchor down through the tops of the feet. We'll inhale, extend. And exhale, release. This time, keeping the chest and the forehead down, allowing the arms to stay relaxed, we'll work with the legs. As we inhale, we'll lift the feet up off the ground. Press back with the toes. Press into the hips. And exhale, release. If that was challenging for you, you can choose one of those to work with again. If you'd like to try it, you can work with both at the same time. As we inhale, we're going to lift our chest, shoulders, and feet, extending the fingertips and the toes back, coming into locust pose. Balancing through the hips. Inhaling, extending a little bit further. exhale, releasing down, bring hands one on either side of the chest. We'll inhale here, and exhale, make our way back up to downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's lift the left foot up behind us. And exhaling, we'll step that left foot through. Let's inhale, come all the way up, high lunge. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, we'll rise all the way up, reach hands up overhead. And exhale those hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, plank. We'll lower down, knees, chest, chin as we exhale. Inhale for baby cobra. Exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. From here, as we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. As we exhale, we'll step across to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, let's bring our hands onto our hips. And we'll find a space where we can stand so that there's something in front of us we can focus on. Something that's not moving, something that is stable and feels calming. We'll find that connection with the ground through the ball of the foot and the heel. Find that little bit of a lift through the inner arch. Soften the shoulders down. And we'll start to shift our weight over onto the right side, making a little bit of a bend into the right knee. Once you feel stable there, we'll lift the left foot off the ground, reaching the left hand for the outer edge of the left ankle. Let's draw that left knee back in line with the right so they're too close together. Take a moment to press forward through the left hip, finding a little bit of a stretch along the left hip, the left thigh. You can choose to stay where you are. If you're feeling like your balance is challenged, you can always hold onto a wall or a piece of furniture for support, really focusing on that stretch. If you feel comfortable where you are and you'd like to try challenging your balance a little bit further, you can extend your right arm out in front of you. And as you exhale, press back with the left foot. Draw the left knee straight back as though it was on a train track. And lean forward at the same rate. As you inhale, expand the front of the body. And as you exhale, lean forward. One more time, inhale, press back. And exhale, we'll release, coming all the way back to standing. Let's take a moment to roll through wrists and roll through ankles. And then we'll find our stable standing spot once again. Find that focal point, something to look at that's not moving. Hands come onto hips. And we'll start to shift our weight over onto the left side, bringing a slight bend into the left knee. And once you feel balanced and stable, you can lift the right foot off the ground, connecting the inside of the right hand with the outer edge of the right ankle. Drawing the knees back towards one another. Pressing forward with the right hip, finding that gentle stretch. Choosing perhaps to stay here. Again, you have the option to use a wall or a piece of furniture for support. And if you're feeling comfortable and confident and you'd like to try the next step, you can choose to extend your left arm forward. Draw your right shoulder back. Draw your right foot back. Draw your right knee back. As you inhale, press back the right foot, lean forward. And as you exhale, soften through the hips. Keeping your gaze focused and your breath steady. Inhaling again. And exhaling to soften. Last one, inhale here. And then exhale to release, coming all the way back to standing. We'll roll through wrists, roll through ankles. And we'll come back to stand at the top of the mat. From here, as we inhale, we'll extend both arms up overhead. As we exhale, we'll bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, 8-point pose. We'll inhale for cobra. As we exhale, make our way all the way up and back easy. On the inhale, we'll lift the right foot up behind us. As we exhale, let's bring the right knee towards the right wrist, right foot towards the left wrist. We'll lower the left knee down and untuck the left toes, setting up for pigeon pose. If you feel like you'd like some support under your right hip, you can place a block or a book or a cushion there. You can choose to stay exactly as you are if it's comfortable for you. If you feel like you would be more comfortable sliding your left leg back, seating your hips a little bit lower, you're welcome to that as well. You can choose to stay upright on your hands, or you can come all the way down to your elbows or even further. Let's press down into the top of the left foot, finding a little bit of engagement through the left leg as we soften through the right hip. And as much as you can, let your jaw and your shoulders relax. Allow your breath to continue to flow smooth and steady in through the nose all the way down into the body. And slow and steady back up and out. Remembering you can adjust at any time if you get uncomfortable in the pose. Generally speaking, drawing your right heel back towards your body makes it a little bit less intense, and moving that right heel further away makes the stretch a little bit deeper. Gradually allow yourself to soften down. Getting heavier and heavier with each breath out. You can choose to stay here, or if you'd like, on an inhale, coming up onto your hands, lifting the body upright, drawing the shoulders back and together as you press the chest forward. Pausing for a moment, and then perhaps bending through the left knee and reaching back for the left ankle. Finding a little bit of a stretch on the front of the left hip. Remembering to work with your edge, never going further than you're comfortable with. Breathe in, expand the chest. Breathe out, soften the hips. One more time, inhaling. And then we'll exhale to release. Let's tuck those left toes under, plant the hands under the shoulders. When you're ready, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment to pedal out through the feet, bending knees, bending ankles. Pressing the floor away. Noticing any differences from left side to right side. We'll bring it back to stillness. As we inhale, let's lift the left foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll bring left knee to left wrist, left foot to right wrist. Allow the leg to come down and then slowly start to slide the right leg back behind you, finding a comfortable position. Pressing down into the tops of the right toes to keep that right leg a little bit active. Feeling free to prop your left leg with a pillow or block or a book. You can choose to stay upright, or you can come down onto your elbows, or even further, resting your head on the ground. Finding whatever is comfortable for you. Continuing to press down through the right foot, and that right leg a little bit active. And with each exhale, allow the hips to soften down. Remembering you can adjust the position of your left foot, bringing it closer to the front of your mat or closer to your body. Finding a shape that works for you. We'll breathe here, slow and steady. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the breath flow. Allow each exhale to take a little bit of strain out of the body. Giving you a sense of release, a sense of happiness. Maybe feel yourself gradually shift in the pose each time you breathe in or out. Choosing to stay as you are, or maybe coming back up onto your hands. Continuing to press down into the right foot, we'll draw the chest forward as we draw the shoulders and elbows back. Nice deep breath in, expand the chest. And choose to stay here, or maybe bend through the right knee. Reach the right hand back for the right ankle. Again, only if it's comfortable. Only if the stretch along the front of the right hip is gentle. Breathe in, expand the chest. Breathe out, soften down. One more time, inhale. And then we'll release, exhaling, tucking the right toes under. Landing the hands on the mat about shoulder distance apart. And we'll lift up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet. Bending knees, bending ankles. And we'll come back to stillness. Take a moment to feel how this shape feels for you now compared with how it felt at the beginning of the class. Press the floor away. Spread the fingers, press into the fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. One more inhale and one more exhale. Let's release the knees down onto the ground and we'll find a comfortable seated position. You can choose to sit on a prop or a piece of furniture if you prefer. Take a moment to get comfortable, sit up nice and tall. From here, let's take the right arm across the front of the body and we'll wrap either the inside of the left hand or inside of the left elbow around that right elbow. Extend the right fingertips over towards the left side and then draw that right arm in nice and close. You can stay there if it's comfortable for you, or if you feel like you need a little bit of a deeper stretch. Bring the elbows back towards the midline of the body and wrap the forearms around one another, either bringing the backs of the hands or the palms to touch. Allowing the shoulders to soften down wherever you are. If you are in the bind and it's still not feeling challenging for you, you can start to lift your elbows and move your hands a little further away from your face. Be really mindful about it, really checking in at each moment to see how you're feeling. The shoulder muscles are really small. It's important to take it slow. Never force them. Good, let's release the hands down. And we'll switch sides, taking the left arm across the front of the body. We'll wrap either the inside of the right hand or inside of the right elbow around the left elbow. Extend the left fingertips over towards the right side and then draw that left arm in. You can choose to stay here, or again, the same option as the other side. You can bring your elbows back and towards the midline of the body and wrap the forearms around one another, either bringing the backs of the hands or the palms to touch. Let's find some softness through the shoulders. And if you are in the bind and you'd like to, you can lift your elbows up and move the hands away from the face, moving just a little bit at a time. Working with your breath. Allowing yourself to settle in to the pose with each exhale. And find some expansion somewhere with each inhale. Let's release, taking a moment to roll out the shoulder. Back to stillness. Extend the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Let's bend the right elbow so the fingertips come down towards the base of the neck. And then we'll take the left hand onto the right elbow and guide it inwards, reaching those right fingertips down. Finding some stretch along the outside of the right arm, maybe through the right torso. You can stay here. If you'd like, you can release your left arm out to the side, sweep it down towards the ground, and then bend the elbows so the fingertips reach up. Maybe joining the fingertips together, or maybe allowing both sets of fingertips to rest somewhere along the length of the spine, reaching towards one another. Continue to draw that right elbow in and up. And let's release that side. And we'll switch, extending the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. We'll bend the left elbow so fingertips come down towards the base of the neck. We'll start by bringing the right hand onto that left elbow and guiding it inwards, reaching left fingertips straight down. You can choose to stay here, or if it's comfortable for you, you can release your right arm out to the side, sweep it down towards the ground, and then bend that right elbow so the right fingertips reach up towards the left. Maybe the fingertips find one another, or maybe they rest somewhere along the length of the spine. Gently reaching towards one another. Really focusing here on drawing that left elbow up and in. Focusing on the stretch along the left side of the body. And let's release all the way back down. From here, we'll inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And we'll make our way into a twist on the exhale. So place our left hand on our left knee, right hand down beside us. Once again, we'll inhale, lengthen the body. And exhale, draw the right shoulder back. Maybe look over the right shoulder. Each time you breathe in, press down into the hands. And each time you breathe out, use the strength of the core and the softness of the core to twist. You can leave your left hand on your left knee, or if it's more comfortable, you can take it to the right. Be mindful that the hands should be used as support to lift up as opposed to twisting deeper. Breathing in, finding length, and breathing out, finding softness. Let's inhale to release, coming back to center, and we'll switch sides. Right hand onto right knee, left hand down beside or behind you. We'll inhale, press into the hands, lift up. Exhale, draw the left shoulder back. Inhaling, lengthening the body. Exhaling, twisting. Maybe looking over the left shoulder back behind you. Breathing in to lift up and breathing out to soften. Good, let's inhale, release, coming all the way back to center. And we'll find a final resting pose. So if you're comfortable in your seated position and you'd like to finish off with a seated meditation, you can stay as you are. If you would prefer to lay on your back in Shavasana, you can make your way there now as well. Choosing whatever feels most comfortable for you. Really taking stock of what you need in this moment and allowing yourself that. And once you've found a position that works for you, take a moment to maybe close your eyes or let your gaze soften. Feel the breath flow through the body. Letting each inhale bring some expansion. And each exhale brings some softness. And as you exhale, take a moment to tune into each place where the body is supported. Every place where the body touches down on the ground. And really allow yourself permission to settle into support. Allowing the body to rest. Breathing in, finding a sense of lightness, and breathing out, finding a sense of heaviness. Giving yourself a few moments just to focus on your breathing, focusing on the present moment. When you're ready, we'll start to blink the eyes open, inviting light back into the body. Maybe taking a moment to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And if you did choose Shavasana, taking a moment to roll over onto whichever side of the body you prefer, drawing knees in towards the chest. And then we'll join up in a seated position, whichever seat you prefer, whatever shape works best for you right now. And as much as you can, ground equally through both sides of the body, rooting down through each sitting bone. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, finding some lift. And then we'll bring our hands together in front of our hearts, sealing the outer edges of the palms and tips of the fingers. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this practice. From my light to yours, namaste.